If you're considering getting an injection for thumb arthritis and are wondering what actually happens during the procedure, well, you've come to the right place. Hi, my name is Dr. Sonam, and I'm an interventional sport medicine doctor. Today, you will be seeing an ultrasound-guided thumb injection from my perspective as I perform it in clinic. So this is the setup that I use when I perform an ultrasound-guided injection of a small joint in the hand. I essentially have the patient's hand in front of me, and then in front of that is the ultrasound machine, so everything is in a single line. Right now, what you're seeing here is I am basically landmarking and palpating out the joint that I want to inject. For those who don't know, the thumb actually has quite a complex anatomy, and it is made up of multiple joints. So you have your first joint here, which is your IP joint. The second joint here, which is near your knuckle, called the MCP joint. And then the last joint is the one at the base of the thumb here, and that's called the carpometacarpal joint. Now, if we look at the anatomy of this joint, the majority of arthritis cases actually happen within the CMC joint because it's a saddle joint that has multiple ranges of motion. It is essentially the reason why we can do opposition and grab things, whereas most animals cannot. So when I am performing a thumb arthritis injection, it is almost exclusively to the CMC joint, which is located right here. So now that I've landmarked the joint, the next thing I'm going to do is obtain some cleaning supplies. I use a pink solution called stanhexidine. It's a 4% solution. It's a very good option for an antiseptic and an antibacterial solution that I use in clinic. The nice thing about the actual solution itself is it's thick enough that it can double as my ultrasound gel. So instead of needing to put gel on top of the joint after I've sterilized it to get a good view with the ultrasound machine, this gel is actually thick enough that I can apply my machine right on top of it, and I don't need to deal with the added cleanup of ultrasound gel on top. So here I'm drawing up some medications for the joint. For the thumb joint, I use a combination of a small amount of lidocaine as well as 10 milligrams of Kenalog or Depomedrol. It is a small joint, so you don't actually want to put too much cortisone or too much volume in the joint. I find that the joint itself can only take a maximum of 0.5 to 1 ml of fluid because patients will unfortunately feel that added resistance as you're injecting it into the joint. So that was my drawing needle. Now I'm going to put on a 25 gauge needle, which is the gauge of my choice when I do these injections, making sure the bubbles are all out there. And now what you're going to see is me coming up nice and close. I am going to clean the area nicely with stanhexidine solution. So I actually go pretty liberal over the area just to make sure that it's nice and clean, but there's a lot of product left. And what you're going to see is this here is my ultrasound probe. It is called, I have two main probes that I use in practice. One is the linear probe, which is the one you're seeing on the screen right here. It's a high resolution probe used for almost most of my joints. It's high resolution, very good at shallower depths. And then I have a curvilinear probe that I use primarily when I'm doing hip injections. So this injection here is going to be done in something called an out-of-plane fashion. When we're trained to perform these ultrasound-guided procedures, there are two ways that we can inject. One is we can inject in line. So if the probe is here and I'm looking at the probe, you can inject kind of in line with the probe, or you come to the side and inject on the outside of the probe and then meet the probe halfway. So that's how I'm going to be performing this injection. I will be injecting on the side of that probe and I will meet the probe and watch that on my screen. So you'll see a lot of me going up and down. And the reason why is once you actually visualize the joint, you're going to want to look up and down to make sure you're happy with what you're looking at. So now here I'm going back and forth, making sure I'm happy with what the joint looks like both on the ultrasound and on the patient's hand, because I do need to make sure I have a good entrance point for the injection. So what we're going to see is a really good view of her CMC joint. Perfect. So now that I've identified the view, I'm cleaning the area again. I've uncapped my needle so it's all ready. And let's find the joint one more time. Here is what we're looking at when we look at the CMC joint. So what you're seeing is a little valley. That little valley is the actual CMC joint. You're looking at this, which is a bone right here, and that's closer to the finger. So that's this bone right here. And then the area on the left-hand side of the screen is actually closer to the wrist. Ideally, where we're aiming for the injection is right in the middle of that valley. So I'm still imaging. I like to image back and forth just to make sure I'm happy with where the actual product will be placed. So I always image like right and left, make sure I'm right in midline before I commit to the injection. So now I'm looking. So this is a really important view right here. I'm actually going to go directly in the middle where this line is to meet the halfway point of the probe. So once I inject here, I get it in view. Now I look back up to the screen, look back down, look back up. And what we're going to see, I know it goes back and forth pretty quickly, but I'm making a little bit of adjustments as I'm in there. And that's the benefit of having an ultrasound machine. I can move through peaks and valleys to make sure I'm exactly where I need to be. There will be a small dot that I'll start to see right in the middle of that valley and that joint. Once I see that, I know that I'm in the right spot. I'll do a small aspiration to make sure I don't draw back blood. It's just a good standard of practice in all of our injections. You aspirate before you start injecting. And once I'm happy with the placement, I will start injecting the product. I'm already injecting it, and it's actually filling up the area around the joint. Sometimes you'll see it actually flow all the way down into the joint, which is a really nice textbook. But in many cases, you'll see it accumulate right here, right underneath the joint capsule, and it will spread throughout the joint. So now that I'm almost done the injection, I pull out the needle, dispose of it in my sharps container, and the injection is complete. So now we just clean up the area. We put a small Band-Aid over it. I tell all my patients to make sure that you're not getting that hand dirty for approximately 48 hours afterwards to reduce risk of infection. The risk of infection of these procedures is very minimal. It's around on the order of 1 in 10,000. Very similar to if you were to get a vaccine or a small needle elsewhere. So we put a little Band-Aid on top of it. As you can see, she's tolerated it quite well. I like to clean the area a little bit more, put a Band-Aid on. Once it's all covered, then they're free to go. I usually recommend that they don't do too much with their hand for 48 hours. And if you're actually interested in my aftercare instructions, I have a few videos outlining exactly what to do after a cortisone injection that I'll reference as well. As you may notice when you're looking at things from my eyes, I do move my eyes and my head back and forth between the screen a lot because that's actually how we're trained to perform a lot of these injections. We want to make sure that we look at both the anatomy in real time, but also then with the ultrasound. It's actually very close to almost playing a video game because you're actually using your hand-eye coordination, but looking at a screen to determine where exactly you are in the joint. As you can see here, the patient tolerated this injection quite well. Most of my patients walk in and walk out of the procedure with no issues and can drive themselves back home. And I make sure everyone does follow my aftercare instructions, which I'll link at the end of this video. I hope this video gave you a better understanding of what to expect when you go in for your ultrasound-guided thumb injection. Now, please remember that every patient is different. The approaches we will use will be different, and depending on the reason why you're getting the injection, will also change what we put in, how we approach it, or how we may change our aftercare instructions. As always, this video is not medical advice, and I encourage you to speak with your doctor about any specific questions you have about your procedure. If you enjoyed this video and want to watch more procedures from my point of view, please let me know in the comments. Also, let me know what procedures you would like me to film. And as always, if you have any other questions or comments, leave them down below. And if you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe for more evidence-based sport medicine content. For now, that's all.